Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and in this video, I want to go over the 3 stocks that I bought earlier this week and last week and just go over how they're doing right now, the average price that I got in, and why I bought these specific stocks. First stock we're looking at here is UAVS, AG Eagle Aerial Systems, going crazy today, up 9%. So this right here is my average now on UAVS. And the reason why I bought it was fundamentally UAVS is a long-term play for myself. I am a big believer in drone technology. I think drones are going to have a huge place in the future, whether it's delivery, whether it's commercial real estate, whether it's construction. There's going to be a lot of applications for drones that are going to make it a lot easier and a lot profitable for businesses, especially in logistics and supply chain, to make money. And so because UAVS is a pioneer in the space, I do believe that these guys are going to have an advantage just because they're the first ones in the space. Obviously, over time, there are going to be more drone companies that pop up, but these guys are the pioneer. And so not only on a fundamental basis were these guys good, I've owned these guys before in the past. And so on a technical basis, there were a bunch of reasons why I wanted to buy UAVS right now, but the first and the biggest reason was our accumulation over distribution indicators. So since our short report that came out around this time, we actually did not have as much selling as people thought. And so this was an extreme overreaction on UAVS. You can see we had a slight sell-off, but then people came back and they started to buy up shares again. And so if I look at our accumulation, we have a very strong divergence in my opinion, because accumulation has been going up, but our price has been going down. The second reason was this downtrend line was a major level of resistance for UAVS on our downtrend that we were having trouble breaking. And then at this point right here, we actually broke it to the upside. And then right here is when we got our back test of this line. And so this right here is when I started to look at UAVS a little bit more. And then as soon as we broke past this level right here, which was a major level of support, and then it became a line of resistance, we finally broke past it. We got our back test of our 200-day SMA, and then I was sold here on UAVS. On our RSI, we still have a lot more room to run here. We are only at a 51. And so overall, nobody is really selling this stock. You could see the beginning of May of 2020, so a year ago, we have seen extraordinary accumulation. This has just been stair step steady. And so this is exactly what I like. This is picturesque accumulation. And so as an investor who likes growth plays, but I like to buy them at very attractive valuations, I thought this was the time to lock up some long-term shares of UAVS, and that is exactly what I did. Absolutely excited about this position. I do think at the end of the day, this is easily going to be a $20 plus stock in the future, and so I'm glad to be buying at these levels. The second stock that I bought last week was 3D Systems, ticker symbol DDD, and so I've made a video over why I am bullish on this company and also this industry as a whole. I think 3D printing is absolutely going to be a monster. In my opinion, I like business models where I could just see a lot of cash coming in for companies because they don't have to pay employees, they don't have to pay for labor, they don't have to pay for a lot of different stuff like unions, a lot of these other fees that people don't take into consideration. And so when you have such valuable technology where you can kind of use it as rental, or you can sell it to people, a lot of ways to make money for these type of companies. Profit margins are ridiculously sweet. And so I bought Triple D here. And so this right here is my average cost on Triple D. And I'm gonna tell you guys why on a technical level I bought here. And so on a technical level, what attracted me to Triple D was the same thing that attracted me as UAVS, and that is the accumulation over distribution. We look at this accumulation, we've had no distribution. People have just been buying Triple D. And so I saw clear divergence on our chart. Our accumulation is at all-time highs, but our share price is nowhere near that. And so I said to myself that this is an easy play just off a technical level, but I also believe in the fundamentals of this company and the future outlook. So I thought this was an easy buy for myself and for my long-term portfolio. Again, I like to invest into innovation and companies that are going to disrupt current markets. And so that is why I like UAVS. It's a pioneer in the drone space. It's why I like Triple D. It is going to be a pioneer pioneer in 3D printing. And so Triple D looked like it did bottom out right here. Once we broke past this level of resistance is when I had to get in on 3D systems. It does look like we are going to find resistance at this level, and I do expect us to continue to trade in this little pattern that we have right now. But it does finally look like Triple D is out of this downtrend. But because of this accumulation, I am holding. I could care less about this level of resistance. I just know that in the long term, this stock is going to be an absolute dominant beast, and which is why I wanted to buy right now. And accumulation backed that up for me. And so overall, Triple D, another big buy that I had under my portfolio in the last couple weeks. Last but not least, I had to buy IQE, ticker symbol IQ. And so this was just simply based on the fact that the price had gotten way too cheap for me to ignore. I've had my eyes on this stock since its IPO. I've bought this stock at 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, like every number that this stock has hit, I've owned the stock at. And so now I'm finally here to say that I've locked up my position on IQ. I will not be selling. I will not be buying. I am just officially locked and loaded on IQ. This right here is my average cost on IQ, and I could not be happier. I don't really fear the delisting concerns that people have, nor do I fear the SEC investigation. At the end of the day, there's always going to be fear, and then there's always going to be hype, and there's going to be euphoria. And so anytime there's an overreaction is a great buying opportunity. And so I don't think IQE is going to get delisted. It's too big of a company. It's too valuable to China, and it's just too valuable, and it's too big for a company like this to get delisted. And so if there are some concerns with the accounting, I do think they will fix up on that. I think they will comply with the current regulations right now, because it's just too big of a company to fail. It's backed by literally the Google of China. And so at the end of the day, this is a stock that I've always wanted to own, and now I do think I have got it at a very, very nice price. And so this is a trend line that we're looking at right now for IQE to break out of. Once we break past this level of resistance, I think it is time to say that we put in a bottom here on IQE. And so right now we are not there yet. We have got rejected twice right here by this level of resistance. And so if we start to come right back down, then we may start to go lower. However, at this point, if we do go lower than my average, I will probably buy it more and bring my average even lower. At the end of the day, I like companies that have very strong growth fundamentals, and now the share price is the lowest it's ever been, but the company is in the best condition it's ever been. Again, there's a straight divergence, and I love divergence. When I see it, I hop on the opportunity. IQE is going to be a pick that I hold for the long term. Again, I also wanted some exposure to China. I've owned JD.com in the past, and so since then I have no positions in any Chinese companies. And even though people are afraid to own Chinese companies, I will take IQE IQ on this dip, because the risk to reward is very favorable in my opinion. If I end up losing all my money on this investment, I am okay with that, because that is a decision that I lived with, and I am very happy that I own this stock. So at the end of the day, this is the Netflix / Disney of China, and we are trading at a very small market cap to what I believe is going to be an absolute cash cow. And so these were the 3 stocks that I was buying this week. And if you guys also bought these stocks, let me know in the comments what you guys bought and where you expect these stocks to go. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs. So if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.